Makita kayo, no? From all over the
From
Philippines.
all over.
So, we're very honored to be invited to share with this amazing group of couples. And tonight, we will share with you what one WWME means to us and why we want to share it with you. Dondon and I are here in front of you as individuals, but we also stand as a unit, a partnership, a singular entity. Ayan, a sacrament forged through love, commitment, shared experiences, shared dream, and most of all, a shared mission. We can say in front of you now that we are one. I first encountered this concept of oneness when we gave our first weekend. We were asked to let our coupleness or our oneness shine during the talks and our nonverbals. Then nung discernment, we were asked to seek this same quality in others. But after experiencing our movement, I realized that the oneness, the unified sense of purpose does not end with me and Dondon. It is not limited to our relationships. Yan mismo ang nakita namin sa community at gusto nating pausbungin, palaguin at pagyamanin. I felt deeply this oneness with many of you here. This oneness can also be called solidarity. It is our profound connection to each other that makes us more than the sum of our parts. This is exactly what we must aim to foster and develop within the worldwide marriage encounter community.
Siguro like some of you, kami ni Margaux, when we took our original weekend, we were like two separate islands. Sure, we loved each other, pero there's a nagging feeling na parang may kulang. Our understanding of each other's inner worlds was, let's say, shallow, ang babaw. But through the dialoguing techniques we learned during the weekend, we began to build a bridge between us, a connection that allowed us to understand each other on a deeper, more empathetic level. What we found was, of course, unity and feelings. But I think what allowed us to thrive as a couple is discovering that we have a shared mission.
Like the oneness we found in our marriage, we see WWME as one body. We each have roles to play, of course, like different body parts working together in harmony. When we see each other merely as parts, or in some cases, just zones or our little LCDJs, we can't really function optimally. Like a toothache, when one part of our body suffers, the whole body suffers, di ba? We cannot isolate ourselves from each other and do our own thing. We can't pretend all is well here if we know there is a crisis there. That has not worked for us and it never will. What we've come to realize that what will bring us together is to fully understand the importance of oneness and solidarity in our mission. We are all parts of a greater whole, like threads in a tapestry or pieces of a grand puzzle. The power of WWME doesn't come from one person, one couple, or one leader, or one zone. It comes from all of us, working together, pulling in the same direction, united by a single purpose, lahat tayo. I remember one couple, tawagin nating John and Michelle, who attended one of our weekend encounters. Like many who attend, they too had reached a rough spot in their marriage. Para na daw silang strangers living under the same roof. But over the weekend, as they participated in the dialogues, something began to change. Those of you who are giving weekends, you know what I'm talking about. By Saturday night, they were holding hands, smiling, and openly communicating. It was as though they'd found a new language, a language of love, understanding, and respect.
Parang kilala ko yan recently lang na yan. Witnessing transformations like John and Michelle. At lahat ng John and Michelle na naka-experience ng ganitong miracle through the weekend fills us with so much joy and pride. And it underscores the power and importance of the work we do, the work we all do. It's moments like those that make us feel one with all other couples who still really, really believe in the dream that we so proudly talk about. All of us couples who share in this mission. It's not just about the joy we feel when we see the transformation in a couple like John and Michelle. It's more than that. It's the realization that this shared mission that allows us to serve is not just the mission of WME. Instead, it's our mission. Personal mission namin ni Margaux as a couple. It is a mission we strive to own for ourselves. It becomes part of our purpose as a couple, as a sacrament. For us, expressing this shared mission becomes a real and concrete way that we become a symbol of God's love. But then it becomes even more profound when we realize na itong oneness in mission is actually part of something bigger. It has to be part of something larger to make it worthwhile. Something that can really, really change the world, even if it's just one relationship at a time.
Exactly. And this mission may seem impossible at times, and that's okay. It's an unreachable star nga, di ba? Sabi ni Don Quixote. Precisely because it must compel us to never stop striving, never stop dreaming, never stop working towards making the world a better place. It's so beautiful when I witness how all of us here make sure na yung every couple that we come across is given that trademark love, care, and attention, knowing that each of them brings us one step closer to the dream. Of course, we've experienced those moments of doubt and disillusionment, but every time we see a spark rekindle in a couple's eyes, every time we see a wall of misunderstanding crumble to reveal a bridge of empathy, every time we see despair give way to hope, we are reminded why we do this, why we are part of this.
So, today, we sit here before you, not as individuals, but as one WME. We challenge you to continue to join us in this mission. We challenge you to really own this mission as part of your purpose as a couple, and not just something that you do just because you're part of ME. Be a part of this grand tapestry of love and understanding. Together, we must believe that we can create a ripple of positive change that will spread really far and wide. Kasi nawi-witness na natin siya eh. Nawi-witness na natin to little by all the lives that we've touched. It is real.
Because we are one, we know that you continue to share in the dream, in the mission. Let's go deeper in this solidarity and embrace the oneness that defines us. It's only when we move as one can this body shine even brighter. Yes, maybe we've made some progress within our own zones, pero iba talagang impact when we work hand in hand with the rest of the body, with you. Together, the mission is grander, and the transformative power of our weekend and dialoguing is exponential. When we become one WWME, we can truly change the world.
But to truly change the world, it takes all of us. Remember, a forest is not just one tree standing alone. It's a multitude of trees, all contributing to create a majestic whole. I'll ask you for a moment to reflect back on your journey. We've seen countless couples coming to the weekend with hearts heavy, with misunderstandings and hidden pains. But by the end of the weekend, those same hearts are lightened, brimming with hope and love. It's a transformation that never fails to inspire us, as it does for you, for sure.
Each one of those transformations is a testament to our shared mission, to our oneness. Every couple who leaves a WWME weekend stronger, happier, and more unified adds another layer to our collective impact. Isa pang couple, let's call them Mike and Lisa. They were barely talking to each other when they arrived on Saturday. Late pa nga sila, buti nakahabol. They were barely talking to each other when they they began dialoguing. They began to really hear each other, and we saw them soften. We saw forgiveness happening in real time. The layers of resentment and frustration started to peel away. By Sunday, they were laughing, crying, and most importantly, they were communicating. They were seeing each other, perhaps for the first time in a very long time.
And this mission and its power is not limited to the couples in the weekend. If we cannot live the values we espouse in the weekend outside the weekend, then this is just lip service. If we cannot live the values of oneness in feelings, of communication, of listening, of dialogue, and more importantly, of forgiveness and healing outside the weekend, what the hell are we all here for? Wag na tayo lumayo. Let's not go far. All of us, especially those who have become leaders here, have at some point for sure felt hurt or have hurt someone. We're no strangers to this. Mea culpa. Apparently, our passion and fire, we were told, can sometimes be taken the wrong way. At nasasaktan din naman kami. The truth is, magsasamaan tayo ng loob lagi. Magsasamaan tayo ng loob dahil lahat tayo, mahal natin ang ME at ipinaglalaban natin siya. Kaya, nag-away tayo minsan.
Pero whenever this happens, Dondon and I try to go back to what those lovers who came before us shared during their time in
Tito and
ME.
tita natin.
They said that when troubles come, when disagreements and hurts and misunderstanding arises in the movement, you only need to go back to the values of the weekend to be your guiding light. Actually, I always hear your parents say this. Ulitin ko, we only need to go back to the values of the weekend to be our guiding light, especially in the times of hurt, misunderstanding, or crisis. One precious moment we can never forget was when we were planning for the 40th anniversary of WME. We were part of the committee and played a significant role. At some point, of course, tension arose, disagreements and strong opinions flew left and right. We were firm in our position and we were relentless. Benji and Nini, who were the project heads at the time, felt strongly about certain things as well. And like most conflicts, an issue certainly needed to be resolved. They could have simply put their foot down, end of story. But, instead, they reminded us of a very valuable lesson then. Benji and Nini wrote us a love letter. They reached out to dialogue, to share their feelings first, and then they invited us to share ours too. Wow. We don't even remember what the issue was, how the issue was resolved later on, who got whose way. But what stuck in our hearts is realizing that living the values of the weekend, the dialoguing way of life, applies to all aspects of our life and this movement. This is what can change the world. At that moment, our world, our perception of a confrontational world changed. That is how we do it. That is how we live our shared mission.
In those two instances we shared, both in and out of the weekend, we stood there with awe, filled with an indescribable joy, a sense of profound fulfillment. Because in those moments, we weren't just witnessing relationships, including ours, being transformed, but we were witnessing the power of one WME to change this broken, hurting world that desperately needs forgiveness and love. We felt connected to Mike and Lisa, connected to all the couples who had been part of our weekends, and to all the couples who would be part of this journey in the future. We also felt connected to Benji and Nini, and all those couples and priests who served with us. In those moments, we felt the strength and the potential of our shared mission to bring light to the world. And if that's too big, if the world's too big for us to imagine, for sure we brought light to the home of Mike and Lisa. And that evening with Benji and Nini certainly brought light to our home. Kaya natin to change the world. We cannot afford not to believe that. Hindi pwede manatiling slogan siya. It cannot be lip service for us teams in our talks during Sunday. Kailangan we believe na kaya natin talaga. We need only to look at all the sparks of light you have helped ignite and the light that other couples have ignited in you.
It is this oneness, this unity of purpose, this shared dream that makes ME so special, but we can't do it alone. This mission needs all of us steering and rowing in the same direction. And that's why we're here, asking you to own this. Yes, we know, alam nyo na to, that this is definitely not new to us. Hindi naman to breaking news, especially to those in this group. There are many moments we experience rowing together. when different zones give weekends together, or when zones work together to help revive other zones, like what AMZ, Pasig, and Dumaguete are doing, sending teams to Bacolod. When zones like AMZ open their doors and share their enrichment with all of us. Wait na nga. Ayan. During major events like the 40th anniversary celebration, or more recently, when kayong mga zones huddled together to discuss how to reach the target of the national budget. Those are the times that we have truly owned one WM.
So we challenge you as we challenge ourselves to bring this solidarity to the next level. We need to ask ourselves, what is our unique gift to this movement? What can we bring to the table of one WME? And you know what? We are convinced and we have experienced that as long as we serve the mission, our zones will survive, WME will even thrive. Ano man ang sitwasyon, being part of the larger mission will sustain us and help us grow individually as a couple and together, just like our own marriages. Share your experiences, offer your support, become a part of someone else's journey towards understanding and love. Yes, share your time, your talent, and from the last time we spoke to you, share your treasure too. We invite you to explore further what more you can offer to this mission.
Each one of us has a role to play, no? Each one of us in our own unique way can contribute to the transformation we wish to see. We can be part of the change. We can help write the story of one WWME.
Remember, the spirit of solidarity lives within us. And when we work together, we create a force that is greater than any of us could be alone. We are one body, one community, united by a shared dream. Let us become the living embodiment of the spiritual truth that what is in one is in the whole. So let's stand together, let's strive together, let's dream together, let's thrive together. Let's embrace the mission of one WME as our own, as your own. Let's change the world one relationship at a time together. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat for listening to us.